So friends, today we're going to see 5 delicious egg recipes. First is this bhendi and egg recipe. So let me take you through the ingredients. So here I have 200 grams of bhendi that I've really washed well, wiped well and cut it really into thin slices. Like this. Now we have here 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1 green chilli chopped fine, 1/4 teaspoon of red chilli powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric, some salt, and we're using 3 eggs. Now here I've heated 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil is hot, we're going to add this bhendi or okra and we're going to fry it till it's nice and crispy. So this took me about 5 to 7 minutes, stirring continuously. Now if you wash the bhendi well and dry it well, then it becomes very easy to fry it till it's nice and crispy. Don't add wet bhendi to the oil. So now you can see that it's nice and crispy. This is very important for this recipe. Now we're going to transfer the bhendi or okra to the plate and set it aside. Now to the same pan, I'm going to add just 1 teaspoon of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add the chopped green chilli. Now I'm using the light green chilli, so it's not very spicy. Fry the chilli really well in this oil. Now we're going to add the 1 medium chopped onion. Fry the onion till it's nice and translucent. Next, we're going to add some red chilli powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon. You can adjust it as per your taste. Now remember we already added the chilli and also the haldi powder. So if you want it less spicy, then you can either skip the red chilli powder or add very little. Now fry all of this for at least half a minute till it all comes together really well. Now we're going to add the fried bhendi back into the bagar and mix everything really nicely together. Now this is a great way of getting people who don't like to eat okra and bhendi to eat okra and bhendi. Very unique recipe. Now we're going to add some salt to taste and again mix everything really well together. Now here I'm going to add some salt, about half a teaspoon, to the 3 eggs that we have in the bowl, and you're going to beat it really nicely for at least half a minute till everything comes together really well. And now you're just going to flatten the mixture because we're going to be pouring the eggs on top of this mixture, very similar to a Spanish omelette. So just pour the eggs evenly over the mixture. Now swirl your pan a bit so that the egg spreads all over the bagar of the bhendi with the rest of the ingredients. Cover and cook this on a very low flame for at least 1 minute because we want the egg to cook. It's still runny. So now we're going to cook without the cover so that the top part of it gets cooked. Loosen the sides in the meantime, but the top of the egg needs to get cooked. So now without the cover, we're going to let this cook. There should be no runny egg on top, otherwise when you turn it over it will break. So now the top of the egg has been cooked, so I'm just going to keep a plate, invert my pan, and then slide this back into the pan, straighten it out a bit, and just cook the other side as well. So this is very much like a Spanish omelette which you make with potatoes, etc. Here we're just going to be replacing it with some okra or bhendi. And now we're going to cover and cook this for half a minute. And our lovely okra or bhendi and eggs is all ready to enjoy. I like to serve it up into these triangles with some ketchup, and it tastes really good. So do try out this recipe and let me know in the comments section how you liked it. It's a very unique and nice recipe. So using a pizza cutter like this, so I get a sharp cut, I'm going to cut it into 4 slices. So you can either have this with chapati, puri, or just have it as a snack with some lovely ketchup. Egg biryani. It gets ready also very quickly. So here I'm just going to boil 5 eggs in 4 cups of water for 10 minutes on a medium flame. Once the eggs are nice and boiled, I'm going to peel them, add some salt to taste, some red chili powder and haldi powder, and mix all of this really well and set it aside for 5 minutes. Now all the ingredients with their measurements and the method of preparing the biryani will all be given in the description box below. Now here I've cooked 1 cup of basmati rice in 3 cups of water till it's just about cooked, not completely cooked but just a little bit underdone. So it should look like this. And once that is done, we're just going to drain it over a colander or a sieve and set it aside to cool. And you can see this way the grains of rice are nice and separated. Now in a pan, I've taken 2 tablespoons of oil and I've cut up 2 large onions really fine like this. And I'm going to fry them, in 2 batches. So half of it, in the oil. And again, once that is nice and golden brown, take that out and fry the rest. That way everything will get evenly cooked and evenly browned. So we want these onions to be nice and golden brown in color and crispy like this. So once one batch is done, you can add the other half and do the same with that. Now in a large pot, I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter. You can also go with oil, but ghee gives a real nice flavor to the biryani. Now once our ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to add a paste. I'm going to add the eggs that we have marinated in the chili powder and the haldi, and I'm just going to fry them but cover them because they do tend to splutter. The masalas do tend to splutter, so just fry them for about 2 minutes and then take them out. Now in the same oil, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of this ginger, garlic and green chili paste that I've prepared. That I've used 4 cloves of garlic, 1 inch of ginger and 4 green chilies and ground them to a coarse paste. So I'm going to fry this paste really well in this remaining ghee. Now I'm going to add 1 medium sized onion that I've chopped fine. So this is like a 1 pot biryani and it's really easy. So I'm going to add 1 medium sized tomato and we have chopped fine and even cook that really well. So mix everything really well together. Let it get fried nicely. Now we're going to cover this and cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes till the tomatoes are nice and soft. Next I'm going to add 1/4 cup of pudina. So I have half a cup of pudina, half a cup of finely chopped coriander. So I'm going to use half of that in the bagar and the remaining half for the garnish. So I've added 1/4 cup of pudina or mint leaves and 1/4 cup of coriander. Now I'm going to add half of the fried onions as well. Next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of coriander powder or dhania powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder. Mix all of this really well together. This is a very flavorsome biryani and it's so easy to prepare. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder. This will give the biryani a lovely color as well. So we're going to mix all of this really well together. Now try and mash up the tomatoes. They are soft, so they get mashed up really easily. Now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of biryani masala. You can use any kind of biryani masala, any brand. And just about 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. Now I have a recipe for homemade garam masala. I'll leave a link below. So mix all of this really well together. Cover and cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm just going to add some salt to taste. Again, mix everything really well. And now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of thick dahi or curd or yogurt. I'll leave my recipe of how I prepare curd or yogurt at home. And mix all of this well. The dahi just helps everything to get, a little bit moist and get everything really well together. And now I'm just going to add this rice that we had cooked. Try to use basmati rice. It looks nice also, and it really gives that. It really elevates the taste of the biryani. Now mix everything really well together. Now I'm going to add the remaining chopped mint leaves or pudina, as well as the coriander leaves that we had chopped up for the garnish. Mix all of that really well together. This pudina also adds a lovely flavor to the biryani. Now we're going to add all the remaining fried onions. Mix everything together. And now you can add the boiled eggs either whole, but I like to chop them up into half or cut them up into half. And that way the biryani also looks nice and pretty. And plus the egg also gets really coated well with the rice and the masalas. And then very gently, mix everything really well together. Do try out this recipe, guys. You'll love it. And I love to combine this with some raita. So what I do is I just take some curd and beat it up and add a little bit of salt and some grated cucumber, a little bit of chopped onions, a little bit of garam masala, and it is a real great accompaniment to this. I'm going to hard boil the eggs. So for that I've taken 4 cups of water, to which I'm going to add 3 eggs. We're going to bring it to a complete boil and then simmer it for 3 to 5 minutes. After 3 to 5 minutes, just turn off the heat and cover and let this come to room temperature. And after that, place the eggs in cold water for 5 minutes. Similarly, I'm going to boil 2 small potatoes for about 10 minutes and let them come to room temperature. Now the eggs are nice and they've come to room temperature completely. They've cooled down, and now I'm just going to tap them gently onto any hard surface. They will just crack a bit and then just take off the peel. So if you boil the eggs in this way, the peel will not get stuck to the eggs. Never try to peel very hot eggs, just come out of the boiling water. Let them cool completely and then only peel them, and then you'll get the perfectly boiled, hard boiled eggs. So in this way, I'm going to peel these 3 eggs. And now we're going to move on to the potatoes. So I've peeled the potatoes as well. And now we're going to cut the eggs in this manner. So first I'm going to just slice the egg into half like this. And now you know that it's hard boiled because the yolk has completely changed its color. If it's soft boiled, then the yolk is still a little, a dark yellow. Here it becomes a pale yellow. And I'm just going to chop it up into small pieces like this. So first you're going to cut it up into half and then, into smaller pieces. This is a real delicious salad, guys. You should make it. It's like a light meal. You can have it as a meal or an anytime snack. And it's okay if the yolk gets a little separated from the whites. It's fine. Don't get worried about it. And now that we've chopped our eggs, we're just going to transfer them into a large mixing bowl. Use a large bowl for this salad because then it becomes very easy to mix the salad once all the ingredients are added. Now next I'm going to cut the potato also into small even sized cubes. So you can prep all of this and keep it ready, and when you're ready to have your salad you can just mix everything. So now I'm going to add the potatoes to the bowl. Now I'm taking one medium-sized onion. I've washed it really well, and then I'm going to cut off the edges like this, take off the peel. And then you can see in the center there's this little yellowish kind of a thing. Take that off. And now we're going to chop the onions really, really fine. So first I'm just going to slice them. And then I'm going to mince them really fine. It's very important for this recipe that the onions are chopped really fine because you don't want big pieces of onion, as you're having the salad. So it's very important that you chop them really, really fine. So just move your knife in this way, and it's good to if you use a really sharp knife. And then add the onions also to the eggs and potato. Now we have just one more ingredient to chop, and that is some fresh coriander. So I've taken about half a cup of coriander, washed it really well, and then I'm going to chop it really fine and add that too. So now we're done with all the ingredients that we need to chop. Now we just need to add some few more ingredients. Now here I'm going to take a medium-sized lemon. I've just cut it up, and I'm just going to squeeze out the juice of one lemon. So that comes to around 4 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. So this can be adjusted as per your taste. So now let's add the other ingredients. So first I'm going to start with mayo. So I'm using half a cup of mayonnaise. Next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of English mustard, 1 teaspoon of pepper powder, black pepper powder, some salt to taste, and the lemon juice. And now all we have to do is just gently mix everything together. Mix it very gently because we don't want the eggs, breaking, nor we don't want the potatoes breaking. So very gently give everything a mix. And your lovely egg and potato salad is all ready to enjoy. Now I like to have this for, really chilled from the refrigerator. So you can chill it up and enjoy it. So friends, let's see the lovely egg Bhurji recipe. It's really so delicious. Masala scrambled eggs, which you get in any Irani restaurant. So let's see the ingredients for this recipe. So here I'm using 2 eggs, which is sufficient for 2 to 3 or 4 people also. Some onions, tomato, 1 green chilli, some ginger garlic paste, and some fresh coriander. So that's about 2 medium-sized onions. Now in the masalas, I have half a teaspoon of haldi, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon each of garam masala and some pav bhaji masala. And this is some salt to taste. So now I'm just going to chop the onions really fine. It's very important that when you're making, burji or omelette, that your onion is chopped really, really fine. So first I'm just going to slice it in this manner and then just cut it up like this. And then I'm just going to run my knife over the entire thing to get a very fine consistency. You can also use, the vegetable choppers that you get with the, you get it really with the string attachment. That really, you can make your onions really fine in that. So our onions are ready, really fine for this recipe. And now I'm going to cut the tomatoes very fine too. So again, after cutting them up in cubes, I'm just going to run my knife over it and get it really, really fine. Use a nice sharp serrated knife or a ceramic knife. Next, we're going to chop the onion, the green chilli also very, very fine. So once you prep all you can always, prep this up and keep it ready when you're ready to make your Bhurji. And of course the coriander, fine again. This makes a great tiffin item. So now all our ingredients are ready. Let's start making this lovely Bhurji. So first I'm going to add some salt to the eggs and I'm going to whisk it really well. So beat it really nicely till the salt and the eggs, everything is really beaten well. Now I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil to my pan and heat the pan really nicely. And I'm also going to add half a tablespoon of butter. This is completely optional. You can skip the butter. So once our oil and butter combination is really nice and hot, we're going to first add the ginger garlic paste. Now I have a recipe of homemade ginger garlic paste. I'll leave it in the description box below. So fry the paste really well till the rawness of the ginger and garlic goes away. Next, we're going to add this real finely chopped onions. Fry it really, really nicely. Now I'm going to add the green chilli. Fry the chilli well too. Next, we're going to add the tomato and fry that well too. Now we're done with all the wet ingredients. We're going to add all these powder masalas. Now this pav bhaji masala really adds a lovely flavor to this Bhurji. Mix everything really well together and the garam masala too. I don't think any Bhurji is complete without garam masala. A little of it, but it really elevates the taste of any Bhurji. So give this whole bagar a real good mix. Fry everything really well. Now we're just going to cook this mixture for about 5 minutes, stirring in between. And then you just mash down everything because it's become nice and soft with all the steam inside. So just mash it up. Add a little of the coriander leaves, about half the quantity, but that also adds a lovely flavor to the bagar. Mix everything in really well together. And now you're just going to add the whisked eggs. Get all of that in there. And then you're just going to mix everything well together and start frying the eggs along with the bagar. Now eggs is something that doesn't take a very long time to cook. So this can be made in a jiffy whenever you want to make a quick meal for yourself or your family or a tiffin item. This is really great. Now again, cover and cook this for about 2 minutes. The reason we cover and cook is because then everything, all the flavors come together. Everything cooks well in the heat. And our lovely Bhurji or masala scrambled egg is all ready to enjoy. So do try out this recipe, guys, and have this with some lovely pav. I'm garnishing it with some coriander leaves. You can also squeeze some lemon on top and enjoy this with some lovely pav. See today's lovely Goan egg drop curry. Now here I have half a cup of freshly grated coconut, one medium onion that I've chopped fine, one small tomato chopped fine, one small piece of tamarind, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and 2 teaspoons of coriander seeds. 2 cloves of garlic, 1 green chilli cut into 2 and about 8 dried red chillies. 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of coriander leaves for garnishing, some salt to taste, 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. Now first I'm going to add the coconut, the tamarind. See that there are no seeds in the tamarind. The cumin seeds as well as the coriander seeds, the 2 cloves of garlic and the dried red chillies. Now I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of water and we're going to grind this to a very fine paste. So your paste should look like this. Now I'm going to transfer the paste to a bowl and we're going to add some water to this mixer jar because we don't want to lose all the lovely flavor of the masala. And we're just going to rinse it and we're going to use this water for our curry. So here we have our masala paste ready and the masala water ready. So now I'm going to heat a pan on a low to medium flame and I'm going to add just 1 teaspoon of oil. This curry doesn't require a lot of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the onion and I'm going to let the onion really sizzle and we're going to saute it till it's nice and translucent. Isn't that sizzling noise amazing? Now I'm going to add the green chili and we're going to fry it well. Now I'm going to add the tomato and we're going to saute the tomato as well. So this is our basic bagar before we add all the other ingredients. Now we're going to cover and cook till the tomatoes nicely soften for about a minute. And now you see that the tomatoes are nice and soft, so just smash them down with your spoon or your spatula. They're nice and soft because we've covered and cooked the bagar. So just smash them down gently. Now I'm going to add the haldi powder or the turmeric powder. Mix everything in well. And now we're going to add our ground masala paste. We're going to fry the masala really well. And now we're going to cover and cook this for just a minute. And you will see after a minute that the masala starts to ooze out oil. That's because of the coconut. That's why we don't need to add a lot of oil for this curry, because the coconut itself oozes out oil when you fry it really well. Now we're going to add the masala water. Give everything a good mix. Now I'm also going to add 1 additional cup of water. This curry is not a very runny curry. It is more of a thick curry. You'll see why. So now we're going to again cover and cook this on a low to medium heat for another 2 minutes because we want everything to come together really well. Now we're just going to add some salt to taste. So I think I added about actually just 1 teaspoon, because this is a half teaspoon. So around 1 teaspoon of salt, but you can add it according to your taste. Mix the salt in well. And while that is cooking, we're going to break each egg in a bowl. We're doing this because we want to see that the egg is okay, there's nothing wrong with the egg. So don't directly put it into the curry. Take it into a bowl first, and then just lower the flame of the curry and just add the egg very gently like this. This is an easier way, because otherwise if you try to break it along with the shell, then your shell might get in. And plus you can see that the eggs are not gone bad, that they're fresh and nice. And now you're just going to cover and cook them till the eggs get nice and cooked. So here you can see that you can still see the yolk, the yellow of the yolk. That means it's not done yet. So cover again and cook. And now if you see, you'll see everything has turned white. That is, a nice white layer has formed over the yolks, like a poached egg. Now just garnish it with some coriander, and we're all ready to serve. So what you have to do when you're serving is pick up each egg like this. And then also get some of the gravy or the curry. Like I said, it's a thick curry because you're going to put the eggs on top. If it was runny, then the eggs wouldn't be poached like this so well. So our Goan egg drop curry is ready. I can't wait to dig in.